Hey kids, you're about to listen to a comedy podcast. That means that none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice or medical care, please contact your doctor.
Welcome to the Jock podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the Jock podcast, where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, drlennonsmith.com. I'd like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some feedback about the excessive amount of technical medical terms that I've been using, such as isosthenuria and baby wipe outs. So I'll try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future. Here to help with that is our producer, Cameron.
Dr. London, I am so excited to talk about, once again, our upcoming streaming service. We're getting ready to launch.
Yes!
I'm thinking Q5 2025.
Okay. Yes.
26, maybe like Q6 26.
Is this, sorry, I just want to clarify on this. Is this QAnon or is this quarter?
That I haven't been able to figure out. But, of course, we are launching our own streaming service. Watch out Netflix, watch out Hulu. HBO, you're cool, it's fine. But Dr. London has actually, you wanted to get a bit more serious, I guess. You were saying, this is a medical podcast. If we're going to, have this, like, crazy, awesome service that everyone can use, why don't we have some, like, actual medical shows?
Right. Because... I like the whole idea of, a spoonful of sugar does sometimes help medicine go down. I feel like we've been doing like maybe a big bucket of hateful content, which is great for getting views, but then it's only like a spoonful of the medicine. And do you see, like...
I think you should clarify, because people will get the wrong idea when you say hateful content. It is a lot of the content is like us listing the stuff that we hate, and a lot of it's like foods that you don't like.
Okay, no, it's also pictures of it. Like, it's not just a list; it's also pictures.
Oh yeah, and you go, ugh.
Yeah, and I'm like, this again, this, and I point to it.
Yeah, and that is projected to be our most successful show.
Yeah, well,
of course we haven't launched any of these, but it's testing really well.
Yeah, mostly on the lawn. We projected on the wall of the house, and that a few people have stopped to look at it.
Well, even a few stray dogs, which I thought was really crazy. We can market with that.
Yeah. And
Dr. London, this is actually what I wanted to talk about is, you wanted to do this really, really serious medical drama.
Yes.
You said it was completely accurate to the point where it would teach people medicine.
Yeah.
I said, what if there was a talking dog?
Yeah.
And so we compromised and we came up with Woofy MD.
Yes. Woofy MD is the sort of the biggest project. So we get it out of the way in the beginning, of course. The Airbud idea of like, there's no rule against this, and like, there is no rule that says a dog can't be a dogter. Yes, right, and that's I'm kind of giving away one of the really the best joke. Like, there are not a lot of good jokes in it because it is a drama.
Yeah, it's mostly serious. It's deadly serious. I mean, we have a few. We've only really written sort of just like a speck of the first 10 minutes or so, but we can go through maybe a page or two, Dr. London.
Yeah.
Who are you playing in this? Because you're the human.
Yeah, I'm a patient.
You're the patient? Okay, but you're the second lead as a patient. Okay, I guess we can just figure this out in this.
Well, I'm chronically ill.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is that you're in every episode. You're sort of the second lead as the patient. And then, of course, I'll go ahead. Of course, for the dog, we are really hoping for, like, my neighbor, Frank. He has a crazy voice that sort of sounds like a dog. But if we can't get him, then...
I was going to say, yeah, we were hoping your neighbor Frank's dog as well, right?
Yes, because it can sort of say, like, "Arr."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I'll say, like, since a lot of the medical writing has fallen to me, I've been trying to come up with medical words that sound kind of like whatever the dog says. I've been trying to I've come up with diagnoses and, signs and symptoms that will match what the dog says. So it has been a pretty big challenge in writing.
Yeah, but that's why, you're the human in the show. You're the one who really grounds it, Dr. London.
Yeah, by being a patient.
Because, it's a little goofy, it's a little silly, but it's also deathly serious.
Yeah.
So if we want to open up on, just go ahead and start this scene.
Yeah. Am I reading for myself, or do you want me to read as the dog? Just to clarify.
I'll be reading as the dog. You go ahead and read
okay.
as your character.
Okay.
I don't know what your character's name is. Is it just Dr. London?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I should clarify. I am playing myself as a physician who's sick. And people may not realize that. Sorry, just as a background. And we explained this earlier in the episode. Professional courtesy is a big part of medicine. If a doctor shows up, they usually get the free health care. And it is kind of the one great thing about American medicine. And so the Dr. London character really takes advantage of this.
Okay. Interior. A hospital bedroom.
Hey, what's up? Hey guys, I'm back. Yeah, so just I feel sick again is the reason. Spina bifida, but that only happens to babies. Bye. Thanks.
Wow. What a scene. And you can see how it has just sort of like this crazy world with this talking dog.
So we're pretty pumped about that. So that's our producer, Cameron.
Woofy MD is the show.
Cameron, we have a sponsor today.
Okay.
Yeah, so we all know that first impressions matter. And if you're not taking care of your skin, that's going to be the first thing that someone notices. And they'll think you're way older, or that you just don't care about how you look. And you can show them that you do care and make a great first impression with Caldera Lab, where compliments are guaranteed. Now, we found out that you can actually use this to gain some employment. In every spy movie, you'll notice that the spies tend to be very nicely skinned people, okay? So Cameron and I were both at a temp agency just trying to pick up work, and they saw our skin, and so we landed some jobs as sort of temp jobs at a spy agency. So
we're international spies now just because they were like, well, people this handsome with this glowing of a skin,
it's just too good. Yeah.
They need to be like CIA or FBI or whatever, because you've seen those movies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're
gorgeous.
Yeah. So beautiful. The downside to where we've been relegated, though, is like there is kind of a decent amount of paperwork to being a spy.
Yeah, and that's because we are temps and we're new, so we're sort of the freshmen there. That's kind of it.
Yeah. So if you've seen in whatever James Bond movies or Mission Impossible, that whenever they like have a really nice car that they crash into the water, and then they just go to the next scene. So we're the ones hanging out over there and like talking to people about it, and
we're handling insurance things. Yeah, we're helping things out whenever there's like damage to a city because of a car chase. Someone has to handle that. You can't just leave that be.
It's a great job. It's nice to have a job, okay? And it's neat to be a spy, but
I love that someone is actually giving me work in this economy.
Yeah. But Caldera Lab creates high-performance men's skincare products, and the regimen leads off their product lineup. It's a twice-a-day routine to transform your skin. The regimen includes 3 products: the Clean Slate, the Base Layer, and the Good. The Clean Slate starts and ends your day. It leaves all skin types refreshed with this face wash. The Base Layer is your daily moisturizer to hydrate your skin and jumpstart your day full of confidence. Which, like, that, I think that confidence did help me to land this gig. So, like, once again, I do want to say, like, I appreciate it, but, like, they will not put us in the field, really, is one of the issues. And
I mean, some people might be saying, well, you guys are temps. Should you be in the field? Is that safe? I'm ready, Chief. That's my response. I'm ready, Chief.
And you don't have to like give us a gun or anything. Like that sounds scary. But like the running part seems like really good cardio, you know?
The parkour stuff would be cool. Maybe let me drive a car every once in a while.
Yeah. Company car.
Why not just sit in a meeting? every time I've seen these spy movies, there's these big boardroom meetings, and those are filled with people who don't talk. No one knows what they do. They're just sort of jotting down notes. I would love to be in one of those meetings.
Oh, I got to be in one, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, well,
because I've just been in the cubicles all day. I didn't realize.
No, well, how big is your window?
Oh, you were able to look into the boardroom. You couldn't hear what they were saying. Is that what you're...
Well, mine is, I got the corner office, so like mine's a pretty big window to the outside. So, but yeah.
It's a quarter cubicle. I mean,
yeah.
To call it an office, I think is... And yes, you can see in the small window into the boardroom.
Yeah, I guess I should admit
from
now.
Here.
It's not the boardroom in our building. I am looking across at the other building.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I've definitely been like in on it, and I'm almost able to read lips, I think. So.
Oh, wow.
I almost know what they're talking about.
You're so lucky.
Yeah. So there's also the Good in the Caldera's lineup in the regiment. The Good is your go-to multifunctional serum at night to help your skin look tighter and smoother, reduce the visibility of fine lines and wrinkles. Every drop of that serum is packed with 3.4 million antioxidants to protect your skin. And the Caldera Lab Icon Eye Serum is also here to address the 3 most common skin concerns around the eye: fine lines, dark circles, and puffiness. And Caldera Lab is the leader in men's skincare, made only with top-tier ingredients, and clinical trials have found that 94% of men's skin showed an overall younger-looking appearance after using Caldera Lab for a few weeks. So it's just 1 minute morning and night to reduce your wrinkles, fine lines, and signs of aging, help you get your temp job at a spy agency. Really, I guess to level up. Maybe you too can get a corner office where you see meetings across at the other skyscraper.
Well, and that's good for you, Dr. London. I would say, be aware of the job offers you are going to be getting once you start using these products. Because for me, I know Dr. London is so lucky he gets to see all these meetings and he's so close to reading lips. But for me, I just feel like I was also offered to be president of the United States. And I'm really, because that's usually the most handsome man in America. And I should have taken that. I really regret it, going with the spy thing.
I guess I don't see you, that's a big office, and I don't really see you fitting that.
Well, I was thinking, just to save room, we're going to do cubicles in the Oval Office. Okay. And then
you would change it, to adapt to what you're comfortable with.
I really think it's due time the White House looks like a WeWork.
Yeah. Not the Nintendo, but the other one. And I should say, just for our audience, we do have an exclusive offer, the best offer available anywhere. Use code JockDoc at calderalab.com and get 20% off right now. That's 20% off with code JockDoc at calderalab.com and make unforgettable first impressions where compliments are guaranteed. That's 20% off at calderalab.com with code JockDoc. And later, we're excited because we're expecting a special guest. But before we move on to that, we would like to address a bit of listener feedback. So for a long time, our listener demographic was primarily composed of mole women, thanks to the underground feminist movement. However, in our efforts to cater to them, we found that we were neglecting the many bot accounts that download our podcast. So this week's bot comment comes from TikTok. It was a response to our video where we clarified about FYP, For You page. What does all that mean? And it comes from user @LaurenLocks, quote, 3 grinning face with sweat emojis.
So it sounds like you're in danger. It sounds like maybe someone is holding you hostage. And so I would say maybe send us one more of those emojis just to let us know.
If it's really an emergency. And if not, then shame on you.
If not, we're going... Here, let's put it this way. You being an emergency right now would be great for the podcast.
Really? Publicity-wise?
For our exposure, would be so fantastic. And so if you're sort of just kind of leading us along here, I'm going to have to call the authorities. DJ Dylan,
Yes.
Like, you do not want DJ Dillon involved because, first of all, like, he recently got a taser, and he doesn't know how to use it yet, but the moment he does...
No, but he can throw it really hard. I mean, not, like, super hard, but...
And, yeah, because he also hasn't figured out how to put batteries in it, which I think is part of why he hasn't figured out how to use it. But, like, once he
he's usually holding, like, 2 sodas. That's kind of been his bit lately, is that he's like, what if I was drinking 2 sodas?
You'd be doing that? Like, okay.
Yeah, it just seems like maybe just get like a larger soda.
That's a frustration. So anyway, thank you so much for that comment. I hope our response helps you, and we'll tailor the podcast hopefully to, I guess, work with these kidnapping situations in the future. So thank you very much. Now for today's medical topic, Creutzfeldt-Jakob Disease, or CJD. Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease belongs to the family of diseases known as the transmissible spongiform encephalopathies, or TSEs, are caused by transmissible protein particle. So it's not caused by a virus or bacteria, it's caused by a protein known as a prion. And this is why, in addition to heat and moisture to sort of sterilize things, they'll also use bleach and other products because this protein has to be killed off. Anyway, human TSEs, like Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, or CJD, they share the following characteristics. It's a prolonged incubation period of several years, a progressive debilitating neurologic syndrome that is fatal, pathologic changes in the central nervous system consisting of 3 classic features of spongiosis, gliosis, and neuronal loss, and finally, it can spread without the body's immune system reacting with immediacy. So it spreads kind of more easily without your knowledge.
Is that what this is? This spread that's been on me?
Okay, no, that's so. Whenever I know you got excited about your spray tan, so excited that you decided to concoct your own by mixing a spray tan with something else. I don't know what the something else was.
Brown mustard, not like mustard that's supposed to be brown, but just like really old mustard that it's sort of curdled in a way.
So I guess so. I think you have curdled spray tan. And is
that what this is? Because the doctors didn't have a name for it either. I should tell them this. Just because they say they're patient with this.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I think if you had given them, because I know that historically when you do go to the hospital and you ask doctors what is this, they'll say like, please leave.
Right. Stop calling my wife at such weird hours. Yeah, that's kind of the.
And that's why you don't get the answers you want usually. So,
well, my guy lately, I mean, he's a dog. This is sort of what the show's based off of.
A dogter, right?
Yeah, my dogter lately has been just sort of, he hasn't been helpful, I guess I should say.
Well, to you, from your perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he mostly just like runs away. He stole my sandwich.
Yeah. Well, like, can you really own a sandwich? I think
that was what the dog was sort of saying.
Yeah.
It was a general vibe I got, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, anyway, these TSEs, especially Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, they're resistant to sanitation methods that would normally be effective against viruses, bacteria. And CJD, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, is a rapidly progressive dementia with myoclonic jerks, like what happens in seizures. And in these patients, the cerebral spinal fluid will typically have a 14-3-3 protein, but a biopsy is the most accurate method to diagnose it. And there's really no specific therapy for it.
Yes.
Cameron, you said that we have a guest today.
That's right, Dr. London.
Okay. I say that as if I don't. I already know. I'm actually pretty excited. This is our guest, and she's sort of supposed to pretend she's not even here, but I'm too excited about it. Hello. Hi. My name is Dr. LondonSmith.com. This is producer Cameron. Lulu, you made it.
I did. Thank you for having me, guys.
Yes. So, I don't want to go overboard with this, but we've been talking about a streaming show, and this is another sort of documentary reality twist. I don't know. Is it going to be a documentary or a reality show? I guess that's one of my questions here.
Well, I mean, I'm here under the guise of a documentary, so I think we'll go the documentary route.
Okay. Sure, whatever. Yeah, as long but Lulu's gonna follow me around.
I think Dr. London's trying to ask how much control you have over the narrative? Is that kind of what you're getting at, Dr. London, by trying to differentiate between?
Yeah, just like, can I try different lines? Yeah, like
yeah, you want it to be a documentary with sort of like producer intervention.
I think the most important part is that you're authentic, and the audience will be able to gather from that what we're kind of going for.
Okay, how do I? Okay, if I were okay, yeah, oh, great. So.
But we're very excited to have you. I'm very excited to talk about this upcoming project that is going to be launched on our streaming service. We're thinking Q7 29.
Yes. 20. I mean, that's really pushing it really close. For how much footage we're gonna get and how much you're gonna have to sift through, because like I do so much stuff as part of it.
I'm a bit light on the details here. What exactly is this documentary about? It's just following London, or is it?
We have we have some other people that we're also going to be tailing as well. A lot of them are currently facing some lawsuits in the medical industry.
Oh, okay.
So it's good to have some contrast between like these, can I say quacks, and someone like me, who's I'm not a doctor, I'm a doctor.
That'll be up for the audience to decide.
Yeah, but like, so,
you shouldn't use that clip in the. You're not going to use what you just did in the show, right?
Wait, what I did? Because like I feel authentic. I have to play it like I'm okay. So do we? So do I do what I normally do, or do you want me to do another? Do we play? You said it's.
Just do what you normally do. That's all we need.
Well, I want to hear about some of the other people that you're getting for this documentary. Are they? These are other doctors, but they're like, or are they mostly like doctors who have lost their licenses? Or
to give you an idea, it's the type when you put on television at like 2 p.m. Anybody that says doctor before their name. That's the kind of vibe we're going for.
Oh, right.
Okay. Yeah, my buddy Grandin, Dr. Grandin, said that he was approached for a documentary, and like he was like really funny guy, really funny, but like had like he kept bringing other stuff into surgery. Basically, he would bring his lunch and whatever, and be chomping, and like technically would break sterile field. You're not supposed to touch this, but like, and he would drop stuff into the body and whatever.
Well, yeah, you drop your phone once into a body and forget to take it out, and people freak out about it.
Well, and then you go to get it out, which is just responsible.
Yeah, and they get even madder.
Yeah. And like, yeah, you expedite it a little bit, and like, I don't know, the wounds weren't fully healed. The wounds were fully healed. Both of those are a problem, apparently. Like, there's no good answer at that point. So, yeah. But that happened to Dr. Grandin, not to me. So, like, that's... Yeah, well, so with the streaming, I don't know if you want to feature the fact that I'm kind of... I do the doctor thing. Sure, I see a few patients, but I also... And, like, fewer now, huh? Than I used to.
Dr. Leonard, what are you talking about? Has something... I'm just going to go out on a limb here. Has something happened lately that would land you in, say, a documentary about doctors who are going through some, like, controversial stuff?
So I guess... So when I say that my practice, the sign is messed up, it's really that I moved into a bar. I've tried to practice medicine in a bar. They rent out a corner for me. Thursdays it's karaoke, but the rest of the week it's me. Well, I'm really good at karaoke. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Is this, I gotta ask, Lulu, is this like primarily Dr. London's section of this documentary? Is it mostly at this bar?
I would say that the majority is at the bar.
Well, that's where I practice.
And he's also not really doing any doctoring.
Well, I could see why someone who's not in the world of medicine would assume that I'm not practicing it. Because, like, let's say I'm kind of focusing on what I was always told I was best at, which is like palpating, which is touching stuff, and then the percussion, which is where you just tap the chest and the abdomen to see where organs are. Because I did really well in those subjects in school.
And so, yeah, you're trying to bring that expertise to this bar. But it just made me think, because we're talking about these other doctors who have, been sort of, their reputations have been hurt lately.
Well, I think it's because when they go up for karaoke, they are bad. They really...
Oh, they're also at this bar. Are most of the doctors in this documentary at this bar?
Yes.
And they call it a bar, I don't think is fair. Because, the space was originally designed as a bar, but lots of places are that way.
Well, they have just as much food as they do drinks.
And karaoke.
Anyway, so that's just some of what my practice has been. Yes, a lot of physicians in the area, especially if they've had a particularly rough day at their practice, they will come to mine and unwind a little bit. And then I'll, palpate and percuss. And the Thursdays we'll sing, but that feels like really it's about the medicine. It's about educating. It's about telling patients, hey, you need to lose some weight. You need to take medicine. And I can't exactly prescribe it right now.
Yeah, because you're your song is just starting.
Yeah, it's because the KJ knows me. Yeah, they won't let me KJ anymore because I really do just put myself up a bunch. But KJ knows me, and I slip him a 5 once in a while just to speed things up, put me to the front of the line.
Okay, you sound like you're almost the leader of this this gang of doctors with questionable licenses or with legal troubles. This is not what you told me the documentary was about. You told me the documentary was about real doctors and the real things they go through. You did not mention how much karaoke was going to be involved. You said a little, but sure, I figured, yeah, it's a documentary. There's going to be a little karaoke. Is Dr. London depicted as sort of a cult leader for this just sort of group of horrible doctors?
To be fair, I didn't really think of it that way, but I'm beginning to see a picture painted.
Yeah, London, you have been eating a lot of silver lately, like the lady from the Love Has One documentary.
Yeah, well, that's because I just have too much silver. That's not a medical thing.
Oh, okay, yeah, you just don't trust other people with it, so you're like...
No, and I figure, it's, just the safest place is your own place, your body. But I think, you know what? I think if you edit the documentary fairly, then people will see that this is just how medicine is done, and it's not some crazy whatever band of it's not a Robin Hood situation. If anything, we're taking from the poor.
So you don't take insurance because legally you can't at a pub, is what you say.
Yeah. Well, at a bar is.
Can I put a theory out there? Because I love these kind of documentaries. This was it's both true crime, but also medical education. But if I put a theory out there, it sounds like you've sort of built a cult of personality. Let's say you've built a little cult of disgraced doctors, and you've convinced them that you can get their license back, and you believe that means doing these search parties where you go and search in the woods and stuff.
Yeah, well, in part because I've woken up out there before and not had my stuff with me.
Right. Yeah, a lot of times when you're on the job, you say you're at the pub, but you're drinking, and yeah, you do wake up in the middle of the night, in the wooded areas quite a bit.
Yeah, and I know I practice medicine because I'm missing, a kid. I have the surgical scar from it, so I know I practice medicine, but. Then I wake up and I'm like, oh, okay, where am I? And I just look for moss on the side of the tree and all this stuff. And then I have to find my way back. And it's a whole thing. And so I know that if I get back to where I was or close to where I wake up, there's got to be a license around there. If not mine, someone's.
Maybe that'll be the ultimate twist to this documentary, the jinx, right? The ultimate thing at the end is that you actually find I don't know, this hole where your licenses are?
I have to assume, like, it's gotta be. I say it like this, and it's like, I know, I'm gonna guess that this is what the documentary hinges on, is really kind of, the story arc is, can we find our licenses? Because then we can kind of go back to working in the hospital. That'd be really neat.
Yeah, you keep looking for those licenses, buddy. You'll find them one day.
Well, Lulu, is there anything else you need to know for to make this work? Because I feel like we've already got this interview-wise. Now, I know next week you said that you did want to follow me around, this weekend, search party. You want to follow me around for that. Now, we have had to hire people because not a lot of people show up for it. So we're also going to be starting a fundraiser for that. Because that's turned out to be pretty expensive to get people to go searching for hours for something that they don't believe exists, or doesn't make sense logically if you think about it too much, or like for a second. So
Dr. London, can you remind me of where your credentials came from originally? This missing license?
Ooh, I'd have to trace this back. So I went to a nautical school on a boat.
Oh, a ship. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, you know what? It was a ship.
Yeah, so it's hard to say where it was because it just depends on where it was, what port it was at that day.
Yeah, let me think. The last port? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Okay. Want to say it was Galveston, but honestly, it could have been Miami. Okay, well, thank you so much for dropping by. I'm like pretty pumped about this. You want to give anyone a shout out? Anything you're excited about? Is this the only documentary you're working on, or do you have friends working on other documentaries?
I do have some colleagues working on a documentary called The Age of Audio. So that should be released next year. And I do have a couple.
Or this year, by the time this comes out.
This is true. Think. Yes. Happy holidays, everyone. And I'm working on a documentary and a film outside as well, but more details to come.
Okay. And so the people working on that, one of them would be, I believe, the name Sonetta Duncan. That'd be the person to look up. Do you know their socials? Any of that, where people can find them?
I think her socials are just her name. Very unoriginal.
All right, so, well, still go ahead, give her colleague a follow. Thank you so much for coming on, Lulu. Thank you to our producer, Cameron. Thank you to Digital in the House.